session is oh, no. Welcome to everybody joining on the recording. So today's session is going to be about 45 minutes long. We are going to be starting in lying. We're going to do some work on all fours and some standing work as well. So what you're going to need is your mat, something to put under your head. So it might be a cushion or a folded blanket. You might want a strap as well for some of the postures that we're going to do in lying, just to support your legs. So either you have a yoga strap or a scarf also works really well here. Please ensure that everything you do is pain and strain free. It's okay to push into a nice deep stretch. It's great to feel our muscles working, but never pushing into pain. I always like to use the breath as a guide. So often people are saying, oh, I don't know, how hard to push, or, where's my limit? So maybe use it, seeing if you can really tap into the breath. So the breath really helps us to know when we're at the right level. So if you notice you are holding your breath, or suddenly your breath feels like erratic, like you're kind of breathing over speed bumps, then maybe you're pushing a bit hard. But when your breathing feels nice and rhythmic and steady, then that's probably the right level for you. So just taking that moment just to listen into the breath, it's a fantastic resource. So let's come gently down into lying. So we're going to be lying on our back, checking that whatever's under your head supports your head, neck and spine to be in alignment. If it's comfortable for you, having the knees bent with the feet flat on the floor, hip width apart, and maybe bringing your hands to rest gently on your belly with your elbows just out to the side, so you're making like a diamond shape with the arms here. So this is called semi-supine, and it's also known as the position of functional rest. So just really knowing that whilst we're lying here, it's not that we're doing nothing. We're really supporting the systems of the body to have more space. So they're going to be working with more ease, with more efficiency. So all of our intestinal organs, our lungs now have more space to move. So just taking some deeper breaths now and feeling that sense of spaciousness in the front of the body. Feeling the spine lengthening here along the mat. So there's more space for those lovely little discs that sit between each vertebra. They can get nicely hydrated here. Because even if we lie on our sides in bed, when we're sitting, when we're standing, there's a lot of compression through the spine. So this position offers that opportunity for some lengthening and some space. So again, it's a really lovely therapeutic posture. So we're going to take 3 sighing breaths now. So we're going to breathe in through the nose, sigh out through your mouth, breathing in through the nose. As you sigh out, letting cares and worries flow out of you. So letting go of maybe what's happened before the session started today. Letting go of what you're planning to do after you finish. So really giving yourself the permission to be present with yourself for this next 45 minutes together on your mat. No responsibilities, no agenda, just you, your breath, your body. And sound is a really good one. So letting sound out as we sigh. Any sound that might come up, it might be, louder. It's a really great way to discharge the nervous system. So allowing the nervous system to come down into a calmer state. So, making the most of that. So let's do a little bit of breathing and counting now. So again, a lovely way to just really arrive. So we're going to breathe in for a count of 4 through the nose if possible, and out for a count of 4. Again, through the nose if that's comfortable for you. In for 4. Out for 4. Carrying on in your own rhythm. In for 4 and out for 4. If your mind wanders off into other thoughts, just seeing if you can gently come back to the practice. So not getting annoyed with yourself, just being gentle. It's very much the nature of the mind to wander off into different thoughts, just seeing if we can support it to come back to the breath and the counting. And the next time you come to the end of your exhalation, letting go of this practice. And let's start our warm up. So we're going to start bringing some movement into the body. I often do a similar warm up just so that you can really get used to this. So in time, you'll be able to maybe keep your eyes closed if that's comfortable for you, and you'll just be able to listen to my voice and follow what we're doing. So it's really nice to be able to get into that more meditative state. So we're going to practice this warm up, and hopefully over the weeks, it'll become second nature. So let's straighten our right leg along the mat. We're going to keep our right ankle at 90 degrees. And we're going to bend the toes of the right foot as we inhale. As we exhale, we're drawing those toes back towards your face. So keep that ankle at 90 degrees. That's a really good thing, so that we're really isolating the movement in the toes. So we're inhaling as we bend them. We're exhaling as we draw them back towards the head. Good. So really giving those toes a lovely stretch this morning, or whenever you might be doing this session actually. Inhaling, bend. Exhale, draw back. Good. The next time you bend the toes, just releasing them, letting go of that practice. Just notice, how do those toes feel? The right toes, how do they feel in comparison to your left toes right now? Just bringing that curiosity to the practice, really noticing the sensations in the body. Let's bend the right leg up and straighten the left leg now. So now we're coming into the toes of the left foot, keeping the left ankle at 90 degrees. Inhale, bend the toes. Exhale, draw your toes back towards your head. Inhale, bend the toes. Exhale, draw back. So we're synchronizing the breath and the movement. And again, the body, the mind love this sense of rhythm. So it can be really calming and soothing. Good. And again, releasing those toes. How do they feel? I often find that once I've done that exercise, I feel more alive, more awake. There's a tinglingness. So there's a saying that where our energy goes, where our attention goes, our energy flows. So let's bend that knee back up. So both feet are flat on the floor now. So then we're going to straighten the right leg up towards the ceiling. And you might want to, if that feels difficult for you, pop a strap behind the leg. So I'm just demonstrating that. So keep the arms, upper arms against the floor, popping the strap behind the leg. If not, holding it with your hands, but just making sure you're not bringing any strain into the upper body. Then we're going to inhale, point the toes to the ceiling. Exhale, draw the toes towards your head. Inhale, point the toes. So we're getting that extension through the ankle joint. Then draw the toes to the head. So inhale, point. Exhale, flex. So when we're doing this, we're stimulating the calf muscle to get the lymphatic fluid flowing back to the towards the heart for drainage. Knowing that our lymphatic system relies on our movement, it relies on gravity, it relies on our breathing. So yoga is a fantastic way to support lymphatic flow. Good. Let's release that leg down. Noticing how that leg feels as we transition onto the other side, straightening your left leg now towards the ceiling. Inhale, point the toes. Exhale, draw the toes back towards the head. And it might be that you need a strap on this side, but you didn't on the other. So just noticing, do you need to put a strap behind the back of your leg to support the leg? Inhaling as we point the toes. Exhale as we draw the toes back. Hopefully you're also feeling a nice stretch down the back of the leg. So that again, we're stretching the fascia, this really lovely connective tissue that goes all the way around your body, all the way around our organs and joints and muscles. Good, and releasing that leg down. How does that leg feel? Really nice. Let's hug your right knee into your right armpit now. So you're giving a nice little hug here, circling the toes in one direction and the other. And then releasing that leg. And we'll change sides. Hugging your left knee into your left armpit. Circling the toes in one direction. And then the other. So really getting into that rotation of the ankle joint. Good, and releasing down. Very nice, well done. So let's get into a little bit more of movement here. So I'm going to spin around so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to take my legs out into a V shape here. We're going to inhale. And then we're going to exhale. I'm going to scissor the legs. So I'm going to bring my right leg in front of my left and then bend the knees on the exhale. Inhale, open the legs wide. Exhale, scissor left leg over the right this time and bend the knees. Opening as we inhale. Exhale, crossing right over left, bend the knees. Inhale, open. Exhale, left over right, bend the knees. So here again, we're just carrying on with your own breath rhythm here, changing which leg is uppermost with each repetition. We are getting into the groin area. We're changing the pressure. We're really getting the lymphatic system flowing here with this movement. We're strengthening the muscles around the hips. And the next time you cross your left over your right, we're going to bring the toes up towards the ceiling, and then we're going to bend the knees and hug your knees to your chest and just rock from side to side. Really good. Let's bring the feet back to the floor now. So we're back to our semi-supine. So feet are hip width apart, knees pointing to the ceiling. Think about that nice length through the spine again. So we're moving our way up through the body. So now we're going to be at the pelvis. So we're going to inhale, tilt your pelvis forwards. So we're going to make more of a curve in the lower back. Exhale, round the spine into the floor. Inhale, tilt forwards. Exhale, tilt back. Inhale, tilt forwards. Exhale, tilt back. So carrying on with your own breath rhythm. Here we are really getting the lymphatic fluid flowing from the trunk back towards the heart, through the lymphatic, through the thoracic duct. And we're going to be stretching any scar tissue that's in the front of the body. Starting to really get your breath in and under any tight structures. So we can really use the breath to massage the body from the inside out. It's very, very powerful. And then let's come back to neutral spine, remembering that neutral spine means we've got that nice little curve in the lower back. So we can maybe fit our fingers underneath the spine there. So it's always a nice thing to check in on. And then let's come to our bridging. Bridging is going to be helping to get our core nice and strong. So we're going to start, let's just do one core contraction just to wake the core up before we kind of add a load, which will be the pelvis. So we're going to inhale together. And as you exhale, draw your belly button gently back towards your spine. Pull up on the pelvic floor, which would be like peeing, stopping yourself pee mid-flow. Let's hold that contraction. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1, and then release and let that be soft. So just hopefully that's woken up the core. Let's now bring in some movement. So we're going to inhale, lift the pelvis off the floor. And as you exhale, engage the core to lower your bottom. So you're coming down vertebra by vertebra. So your pelvis is the last thing to connect with the floor. Inhale, push through the feet, keeping the buttocks firm. Exhale, lower with control. Now, if this is a difficult thing for you to do, just coming up a centimetre is great. And then we can keep working on it. With the more times that you maybe do this video, you can just maybe take the bottom a little bit further. Just noticing what's happening with your breath. Are you holding your breath? Is it feeling erratic? What's the right level for you today? And also realizing that every day is different. So it might not be that you can build each day and make something harder and harder, because some days we're not feeling right. So it might be that one day you're doing much less, and that's really okay. And I applaud you for doing less on the days where you're not feeling so well. It's meaning that you're learning to really listen to the body. If you want to add a little bit of extra challenge, when your pelvis comes up, you might to reach your arms up and over your head. And exhale, bringing them back down to the sides of the body as your pelvis comes down. Inhaling, lifting the arm up and over. Exhale, lower the arms as you lower the pelvis. So really using your core as you come back down to control that descent. And then let's release and let go. Maybe wiggling the hips out now. Just letting your hips rock from side to side, so keeping the pelvis connected with the floor, but just releasing any tension that may have built up in the lower back there. Really nice. So let's keep going. Let's keep working our way up. Let's come into some little twists. So you want you to be really careful with any spinal twists. Definitely not doing this if you have any osteoporosis in the spine. So just miss this exercise out if you do. But if not, let's just start bringing we'll take our hands so that they're palms facing up to the ceiling at shoulder height, arms straight. And then just the feet are hip width apart. Can you just gently take the knees from side to side? There's a little rock from side to side. We're getting a little bit of rotation into the pelvis. And in time, you may be taking those knees a bit further, but really, really gently doing that. Maybe you want to engage the core to really keep the spine protected. And just bringing that curiosity again, that like sense, like really noticing what is happening. How is this feeling? It's just really seeing if we can switch out of autopilot. Maybe spend a lot of our lives in, but really like being mindful. And if that's feeling okay, do you want to bring in the head movement? So when your knees go to the left, maybe turning your head to look right. When your knees come to the right, you could turn your head to look left. So then we're getting that little rotation moving all the way through the spine now. And this is quite a nice somatic exercise. So just really getting into the rotation. Rotation can be very soothing again for the nervous system. There's a massage called Lomi Lomi massage. I don't know if anybody knows of that. And actually that is a massage where they just rock the limbs of the body. It's really, really nice. Let's come back to neutral. So bringing your head, so your face is coming to the ceiling, knees pointing to the ceiling. Hands can come back down by your sides. And again, let's hug the knees in towards your chest and give yourself a little hug and a rock. Good. Back to neutral, back to feet back flat on the floor here. So we're coming up further. We're going to come to the shoulders. Let's bring our fingers to our shoulders now. And we're going to circle the elbows in one direction. Start small and then get those circles bigger and bigger. And then the other way. Great. Let's bring the hands down by the sides now. So your fingertips are pointing to the bottom of your mat. So your fingertips, your thumbs are pointing up to the ceiling. So it's almost like you're a soldier, you know, with the arms by your sides. The palms are facing into the body. Thumbs are pointing towards the ceiling. And I want you to inhale, keeping the backs of your arms on the floor. Inhale, bring your shoulders all the way up towards your ears. And as you exhale, draw your fingers down the mat towards your feet. So you're really stretching through the sides of the neck. Inhale, tucking those shoulders up. So we're shrugging. Exhale, drawing down. This is going to really create a nice stretch through the sides of the neck, the trapezius muscle, big muscle that we tend to hold a lot of tension in. We're also creating space between the tissues of the neck so the lymphatic fluid can move more freely as well. When I do this, I don't know about anybody else, but it goes into my face. So you can really notice like the fascia and how that connects all around the body. When we're stretching one area, it's going to be affecting areas that we didn't think were so connected. Good. Coming back to neutral and then just releasing that off. So maybe just having a shake with the arms now. Good. Let's come to roll onto our side. So roll onto your most comfortable side now. And we're going to come up into a seated position. So just really taking your time, no rush. In sitting, I want you to have a real think about your posture. So popping what you need under your bottom, that means that your hips are above your knees and that you've got a nice curve in your lower back. So I always like to have a little feel of my back. See, just check that it's not flat, so I haven't got enough under my bottom today. I'm going to set with my yoga blocks, they're always good. You might also want, there's also the option of straddling something. So if you've had a yoga bolster, it's perfect. You can sit like this. If you don't have that, you could be maybe using a couple of pillows. That can be really helpful. Or you can sit on a chair. So there's always options. So I know that cross-legged is not great for everybody. So have you got that nice little curve in the lower back? Check. Good. Then we're going to imagine there's a piece of string that goes all the way through your spine, out through the top of your head. Maybe taking a hold of a little bit of your hair on the crown of your head. Can you feel that? Like we can just pull that little bit of hair up. Can you feel that lengthening through the spine, out through the top of the head? The neck is free to move. So we're not holding tension in the neck. We draw our shoulders back and down, creating space through the front of the chest. And having a little feel what's happening with your lower ribs. Can we tuck them under? So there's a little checklist of posture. And then just really like taking a moment to feel what that feels like. What does healthy posture feel like? Can we press save on a cellular level? I wish we could do that. And again, this is the position where our joints are stacked beautifully on top of each other. That when we start exercises from a good place of alignment, we're less likely to injure ourselves and we're more likely to get the strength that we want building. It's a really nice place to start. So let's do our bird's breath practice. It's a really nice one to get into the shoulders, the spine, and the neck here. So let's bring the hands together in front of the heart into a kind of a prayer position. And we're going to inhale here to start. So you exhale, I want you to send your hands forward so the palms stay connected and round the spine, and your head can come between your arms. Then we're going to inhale, we're going to come into a cactus, bringing the arms to a cactus shape like so. Exhaling, the hands come back in front, so that's your bird's beak, head down, belly button back to the spine. Inhaling, we come back to our prayer. So that's our starting, and then we can exhale there. Inhale. Exhale, bird's beak, hands come forward, round the spine. Inhale, cactus arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, hands together again in front, round the spine. Inhaling, we come back to our starting position. Really nice. Let's keep going with this flow. It's nice to get into the flow. Inhaling. Exhale, send the hands forward. Inhale, cactus arms. Exhale, bird's beak, round forward. Inhale, back to our starting point. Good. Exhaling there. Inhale. Exhale, bird's beak. Inhale, cactus arms. Exhale, bird's beak, round forward. Inhale, back to starting position, and you can exhale there. Really nice. Let's release it off, just shake it out. Let's do some neck strengthening, because I always do that in my classes because it's a really important one. So again, remembering we're working this corset-like muscle. This is the transversus abdominis that goes all the way around our spine. So when we're talking about the core, we're talking about this muscle, okay, that works amazingly to hold our spine nice and strong. And it works in conjunction with our pelvic floor and our diaphragm. So we kind of got like a barrel of muscle here that's like keeping us nice and strong here. So we've been working that. Then we need to work the muscles of the neck. Okay, there's tiny little muscles between each vertebra, and that helps to keep our neck in alignment here and like reduce that poking chin that can happen with everyday life. So to get those muscles engaged, we're going to put our finger onto our chin and our tongue on the roof of the mouth. And we're going to inhale here. And as you exhale, I want you to tuck your chin backwards. Okay, so it's purely moving backwards. It's not coming down or up, purely backwards. So you're creating that sense of a double chin here. Holding it there. And then releasing it off and nodding it out. Okay. So if you were sat with your head against a wall, your head would not leave the wall. So just maybe having a little bit of an awareness of that as you do this again. So inhale, exhale, tongue to the roof of the mouth, tuck the chin back, the eyes remain level up at eye level. Okay. Keeping the head neutral. Good. And then again, nodding it out, releasing it off. Really, really nice. Okay, let's do a little bit of spinal twisting. We're going to do another little flow. And what we're doing here is we're moving as we exhale. So it takes a little bit of time to learn this because we're wanting to move with each part of the breath, but actually we're going to move on the exhale. And we're going to do some side bending and then we're going to do some twisting. So from here, again, we always start shoulders back and down. So let's start by inhaling to bring the arms up above the head. So the arms reach up, but the shoulders draw down, yeah? If there was a little bird, it could fly between your earlobe and your shoulder here. Check that there's space. Good. Inhaling here. Exhale, side bend to your right. Inhaling. Exhale, center. Good. Inhale here. Exhale, side bend to your left. Good. Inhale. Exhale, center. Good. Inhale. Exhale, twisting now. So either bringing your hands over your chest like so and twisting, or you can come into a full twist where you bring your right hand behind and your left hand to the outside of your right knee and twist. Good. Inhale there. Exhale back to center to bring our arms up. Exhaling, we're going to go to the other side. So doing the same as you did on the other, do you cross your arms across? Taking a breath there. Inhale, exhale, center. Good. Inhale. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale. Exhale, center. Good. Inhale. Exhale, side bend to the left. Good. Inhale. Exhale, center. Good. Inhale here. Exhale, twisting to your right. Good. Inhale. Exhale, center, bringing the arms above the head. Good. Inhale. Exhale, twisting to the left. Inhale here. Exhale, coming back up with the arms. Good. And then releasing in a big circle. And you stretch your fingers right, really, really, really wide. So getting nice stretch through the hands, bringing the hands all the way down. Good. Lovely. Just rolling the shoulders out now. So just rolling them back. Good. And forwards. Good. Really, really nice. Let's do a little bit in all fours before we come up to stand. So just getting yourself comfortable. Throwing myself around. With your hands directly under your shoulders, your knees directly under your hips. Okay. So from here, let's just do some circles initially. So I want you to just circle your hips in one direction. Again, just start with really small circles. And as you get more comfortable, you may want to bring your bottom further back towards your heels. You might want to stretch into your wrist joints as you come forward, but you're really listening in, like what's comfortable for you. What does your body need today? It might want to really stretch through the sides of the ribs, like, yeah, just really thinking, that a little bit of like free movement here. Listening to what your body needs. Good. And then let's go the other way, reversing those circles. And then coming back to a neutral spine. So neutral spine here is actually a flat back when we're in our tabletop. Okay, so imagining there is a tray of teacups on top of your back here, and we don't want those teacups to fall over when we're moving the body. So what we're going to do is we're going to engage the core to keep the spine nice and straight. So inhale together, exhale, draw your belly button back towards your spine, pull up on your pelvic floor. So that's like stopping Pima flow. And from here, maybe that's enough. You just want to stay here and engage your core. Or do you want to bring some challenge? Keep that tray of teacups safe as you reach your left hand forwards. And that might be enough for some people. If you want to add in more challenge, you might want to reach back with your right leg, but just see what's right for you. Good. And then releasing, and let your core be soft. So as your hands and your foot come back, just let your core be soft, and that really has that sensation of your belly hanging towards the floor. There's nothing holding onto it right now. Then we're going to go again and do the same on the other side. Inhale, exhale, engage your core, belly button back towards the spine, pulling up on the pelvic floor, either reaching just a hand forward, keeping the spine flat, or do you want to do bird dog, where you reach your right hand forward and your left foot back? You can imagine someone's pulling your fingertips away from your toes away from you. So you get a lovely stretch through diagonal there. And then coming back to center. And let your core be soft. Let the belly hang. Good. Let's release now. So you can either come up onto your like heels. Just roll the wrists out, because that was quite a lot of pressure through the wrists. You could do a royal wave, one direction and the other. And then we're going to come to standing. So we've got a few more minutes left. We're going to do some nice work in standing to close our practice. I might need to change my video camera positioning. Okay. So we're going to do a little bit of balance work in standing. Please ensure if your balance feels challenged, then having something to hold on to. So that might be having a chair nearby. It might be like practicing behind, with the back of a sofa or a chair, something like that, or worktop. What I want you to do is come to the short end of your mat. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to imagine the side of our mat is like a tightrope, okay? But don't worry, because there's nowhere to fall. We're just probably a centimetre off the floor, but it's something just to practice walking along the edge of the mat. So you're feeling with your feet, you're engaging your core, and you're just seeing if you can keep your feet along the side of the mat. And it really doesn't matter if you're not managing to do it. It's just really just bringing that awareness and that practice, and we can go super slowly. We can be holding on to the support that's next to you, doing whatever you need so that you feel safe. But it's a really nice way to practice. So we're putting one foot in front of the other. So as you bring one foot in front, it might be that your heel touches the top of the big toe a little bit. So you go like kind of referencing where your foot is in space by noticing where that other foot is. So you're connecting the foot to the foot. You might want to have your hands out as if you, like if you were at the circus, we would be having our pole in our hand that would be supporting us there. Really nice. And for those of you who are like, this is easy for me, this isn't something that challenges me, you might want to walk backwards as well. So you're practicing going forwards and backwards. If this is challenging, I would recommend just staying, going forwards and turning at the end of your mat when you get to the end of your mat. And it is a challenging thing to do. Good. And the next time you come to the middle, let's just come out of that posture, that practice. Very well done. Good. Shake the feet out. Let's do a little bit of squats because I think it's always good, and we can bring in some challenge, different like levels of challenge with squats as well. So with squats, I like to teach this because a lot of people talk about fatigue being a symptom that's really challenging. So building up our quads, muscles that can lose mass very quickly, can really help with fatigue, because if we build up muscle mass, that means that it's going to make activities of daily living easier, then you're going to have more energy left over. Okay, so let's practice our squats. So feet are hip width apart. As we bend down into our squat, we want our knees tracking over our big toe and our second toe. So just noticing if they're knocking in towards each other or falling out to the side. We only go as far as we have control. So we inhale as we bend down, and we exhale as we come to stand. So I want you to think about sitting down into at the back of a chair, inhaling as we come down. Exhale, engage your core to stand you back up. Inhale, bend. If you're feeling really tired today, then just sitting maybe into a high stool. So that's fine. But this is just a really nice practice to work into the quadricep muscles. Now, if that's easy, let's add some arms in. So we come down, as we come down, we can lift the arms up. As we stand, our arms can come back down by our sides, and we maybe can even reach back a little bit. So getting some extension in the shoulders. Inhale, arms up as we push our bottom back. Exhale to stand. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Again, another level of complexity. If you want it, we can inhale to come down. Exhale as we stand, and when we reach our arms back, you might want to come up onto your tiptoes. Okay, inhale, bending. Exhale, stand, reach back, come up on the tiptoes, really using the core there. Good. Continuing in your own time, whatever level you're working at today. Remembering that when we're standing up, we're engaging the core. Checking your knee alignment here. Good. Stopping and resting whenever you need to. Good. And releasing. The next time your heels reach the floor, let's kick the legs out, shake it out. Well done. Lovely. Let's finish today's session coming down to your mat. You might want to finish in sitting, you might want to finish in lying, whatever feels right for you. If you've got extra time, then it's really nice to come down to lie. When we're lying, we always put something under our knees so that we are not taking any strain into the lower back. Checking that your head, neck and spine are in alignment, checking that you're warm. This in yoga is called Shavasana, this pose. Okay. It's the time when we completely release and let go. It's the time where all of the amazing effort that you've put in to the practice, all of that energy gets absorbed into every healthy cell in the body. So it's a time of integration, really. So seeing if you can just really allow yourself to be held by the support underneath you, cushions, bolsters, pillows, whatever you're using, the ground, the earth holding you there right now, knowing that you cannot fall, you're absolutely held. Letting go of all efforts in the body. So just maybe scanning through, letting go of any tension in the face, the brow, the jaw, letting it all go now. And if you have the possibility of staying here and relaxing some more, then I absolutely encourage you to do so. If you do need to get on, then just gently bringing some movement back into the body, wiggling the toes and the fingers, stretching and yawning as you might do after a deep sleep. And when you're ready, rolling onto your most comfortable side. And when you arrive there, taking a nice deep sighing breath, so inhaling through your nose, sighing out through the mouth. Let anything that's bubbled up in our session today just to be released on the out breath. And when you're ready, coming up into sitting, again, finding a place where you're comfortable. And keeping the eyes closed down if that's comfortable for you, otherwise a soft gaze, and we're going to rub the palms together. We're going to create heat in the palms. Rub, 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 rub. I'm having to do it quite a lot, so I'm in a bit of a chilly space this morning. And when you're feeling that lovely, lovely toasty warmth, can you cup your eyes over the eye area so you're not putting any pressure on that area at all? You're cupping your hands over, so you're feeling hopefully a lovely warmth bathing the area. Bathing, bathing, soothing. Softening tension that may be held there. Seeing if the tissues can receive that lovely warmth. And then using that, the warmth that remains, just to pad your face with your hands. Pad, pad, pad. Coming down through your neck. Maybe giving a little squeeze to those big neck, shoulder muscles, the trapezius here. And then taking your the hands to the opposite arms and just squeezing down the opposite arms all the way down to the forearms. And then we're going to just open our hands out So we've got our palms facing up, opening them out to the side. So we're just like opening like wings of a bird. Inhaling, exhale, wrapping your hands around yourself and just giving yourself one final big hug. And really sending yourself gratitude and thanks right now for making the effort to get on your mat today. For this time for precious movement, connection with your breath, and hopefully your inner self. Namaste. Wishing you a lovely, lovely rest of your day. Drink plenty of water and go gently.